My fine divine collective, what is going on? I'm gonna tell y'all what's going on, okay? Because y'all already know when I am just doing my thing, I'm listening to my tunes. I love my music. Y'all know that I get these channel downloads through you all's energy, and you know, and let's just say that the energy is energying, okay? Yes, the energy is real thick pertaining to those old haters that you had to deal with in your life before you did your crossover and your transformation into removing those haters. Let's get into it. And my name is Dominica Divinely, God's favorite light worker, the golden healer, the messenger, and your down to earth high priestess. So the song that I was getting you all's channeled messages through is called So Good by Destiny's Child. Period. Clock that T. Y'all already know what's going on right now. So my fine divine collective, let's just say that your past wasn't so great to you. Your past was not so serving, and you had a bunch of haters. Although that you had a whole lot of hardship, these haters, they did not make it easier on you at all. These people that were your so-called friends, family, loved ones, whoever you felt like, you were cool with. And most of those people were fake to you, okay? A lot of talking and gossiping behind your back. They really believed that you were not smart enough. They thought that you were never going to amount to anything, and they just thought that you was just plain old nothing compared to them. But one thing about when God has his chosen seed hidden in plain sight, that's usually how it starts out. He usually puts them in a place to where they have to remain humble, and a place to where they are blinded so they can actually be misjudged by those who will later be learning from you, okay? God used you as a seed. He planted you in the midst of the storm so that when you were ready to sprout and bloom, that those haters had to learn from you and see exactly who you really were, opposed to who they thought you were and thought you were going to be. See, you are not of this world, my fine divine chosen one. You were never of this world, so therefore you had to adapt in different ways. You were definitely looked at as the outcast, the oddball, the black sheep, and that's exactly how you got treated. You were so blinded and confused to the ways of this world while things were passing you by and things were happening, while everybody was just looking at you like, are you okay? Everybody, instead of actually making sure that you were okay, they decided to let you drown, talk about you, and actually help and contribute to your downfalls. And as they were acting and doing this, they were pretending like they weren't doing anything and gossiping about it at the same time, making sure that you stay down, putting that bad energy out there against you while still seeing that you were still some type of different. And a lot of these people actually saw your potential at the same time, but they allowed the fact that you were going through it to dominate their better judgment against you, because they knew that you had to be something special, especially with the way that you overcame these things, the way that you thought and spoke. But the way that you thought and spoke did not align with what you were going through. But the way that you were coming out of these situations did. And these people had no choice but to respect you. Just like you were blinded to the ways of the world, these people were blinded to exactly who you were. But my fine divine, there came a time where you had to awaken, go through the dark nights of the soul and transform and see exactly what was going on for what it was, to see the truth. And that truth exceeded and went beyond what these people know and thought, for real, for real. So although you were blinded to the ways of the world and the wickedness of the world, these people were still blinded to who you were and what you ultimately represented in the long run. They did not know that in the future you were going to actually be waking them up, opening their eyes to new things. While they thought that you were blind, they were blinded too. And because when you had awakened and you had transformed, you knew that it was time to cut these people off, because they really weren't for you when you needed them the most. They did not serve you any good, but they did serve purpose in your life. They did not only teach you how people really are, they did not only teach you through the experiences that you need to have to transform, they showed you exactly how wicked and ugly ways of people really are. Because although you were going through all kinds of madness in your life and hell, you were never as ugly and wicked as the people that were stabbing you in your back, betraying you, talking about you, and pretending to like you were. These people judged you. They judged you. They hated on you even when you were doing worse than them. They did not really like you. And this goes for family too. A lot of people even spoke bad upon you, put curses on you. You know, people was going behind your back to make sure that they were doing sneaky stuff to hurt you and bring you down. Like, these people really were not for you, but pretended like they were. They would smile in your face, knowing they did not like you. Even after you had awakened and you started showing exactly who you were, you actually stepped into a better position. At this point, they became envious and jealous of you. And some of them really didn't even believe that you were who you were, or who and what you were representing as you were transforming and actually coming and stepping into your position and calling. And after your level ups and your spiritual ranks in the realm, the outside of your life started to look better. You started to heal. You started to move forward. You started to handle situations better with more grace. And you started to act in more controllable ways. And although things take time, I find Divine Collective, you knew that everything that was working for you was working in divine timing. You already know how it is, my Find Divine Collective. So now at this point, in this day and time, my Find Divine Collective, all those people that said that you were nothing, you were never going to amount to anything, and thought that you were just plain stupid, nobody wanted you, nobody cared about you, nobody loved you, your great divine proved them wrong. Because even alone, your God, your ultimate God, proved that you were loved by the Almighty Himself. And not only that, my Find Divine Collective, it seems like you are doing better than those who were actually judging you, putting you down, and said that you would be nothing. Those same people that talk bad about you, they are either doing worse than you or still stuck in the same space, in the same place, in the same spot. Whether it's physically or mentally, these people are or both. These people are no better than what they said that you were. And a lot of them might even try to be like you. They might even try to compete with you, thinking that they can get like you and on your level, but without the works. So they are still no better at the end of the day. My Find Divine Collective, you have risen to great heights. You have overcome and achieved in so many different ways where it matters at that they could never reach. And that is why, my Find Divine Collective, you have been put in the position that you have been put in because you were never as judgmental and ugly as they were. And that's also why it is very important to be careful who you judge, because you don't know what the future holds. You don't know who you're really entertaining or who you're really putting down. You don't know what God that person belongs to. They didn't know. Just like those people got ahead of themselves, now they are actually going through what they said that you would go through. People talked about your kids, people talked about your life, people talked about things that they would never or could never be. But now they are being exactly what they said they could never be, because they thought that you were what they thought you were. These people are eating their dirt and putting their own foot in their mouth for coming for you. They really did not know what they were speaking on themselves when they were speaking it on you. But at this point, my Find Divine Collective, right now, you are doing so good compared to these people. And what they don't even know is that what is in store for you is even better. So what's really going on here is that they are going to have to continue to watch you elevate and climb and exceed to higher levels, while they continue to stay and remain in the same place. They're bad, and this is just for confirmational purposes only, because y'all be knowing.